Social media often paints a perfect picture, but there is a downside to this, with many feeling never feeling like they quite match up. Bodyright is a movement this week challenging brands, influencers, media and advertisers to flood their social feeds with unfiltered and unretouched images. Here to tell us more is registered psychologist Sarah Chatwin and personal stylist Caitlin Taylor. Sarah and Caitlin, thank you very much for being with us. Caitlin, if I can start with you, why did this movement start? How did it come about?
This is a global movement, Bodyright, so it's nice to see it coming to New Zealand. And it just started because people I think they have this expectation of these pictures online, and it just wasn't real. And I think that there's this movement now to show body diversity and to show us as we really are, and just to get everybody to embrace our bodies and our skin and all the wrinkles and bits and things as they are, and not have the unrealistic expectation that filters and retouching are putting on us.
Sarah, how do filters affect social media users?
Oh, look, they really do. When you are hearing about teenage girls who are having a bit of a bad day, and 33% of them are reporting that when they jump onto Instagram and have a look round, they feel worse. So, we're seeing more of these images bombarding our feeds, and more images, lower confidence. More images, lower self-esteem. I mean, it feeds into all of those disorders, depressive disorders, body dysmorphic disorders. So it really can have a damaging effect. And at the end of the day, I mean, as a teenager, you've got a lot going on. You do not need an extra layer of pressure in and around these kind of issues. So Bodyright is fantastic because, they're reaching out to social media influencers, celebrities, media, and just asking them from the 28th of March to the 3rd of April, don't flood us, don't bombard us with unrealistic images and a very narrow definition of what we should be. Give us the real thing, warts and all, we're okay with it. And hopefully we can stand in our own skins and be really good with that, feel comfortable.
Caitlin, isn't social media essentially an advertising platform too? So when is it okay to use filters and when is it not?
Look, I think more the question is, can we put a guideline in place like we have with advertising, where in New Zealand we now have to disclose if we are in a paid partnership. Let's look at doing that with filtering and retouching. So, some countries overseas, France has done this, some Scandinavian countries has done this. Can we do this here in New Zealand, where we can actually have some sort of transparency and disclosure if we are using filters? But I think the important thing is we really need to just learn that our faces, and it's the filters that change the shape of our face and that give us cheekbones or we don't have cheekbones, slim our nose, make our lips bigger, which isn't the reality. They're the really damaging ones. So I think they're the ones we need to be really, really aware of. And often they're just a subtle change as well. And I think that it's really hard because on Instagram, you can actually see if a filter is used, but there's all these apps and things that you can do it outside Instagram. So there is no transparency. So I think if people are wanting to use these filters, there needs to be some sort of guideline that makes it transparent and people are expected to disclose.
I wonder how far you need to go, because I remember doing a shoot not long after it had a baby, and the baby capsule you carry around, when I carried it, it kept banging me against my legs, and so I had bruises all over my legs. And
yeah.
I did a shoot and I said, look, the one thing is I've got all of these bruises, and they said, oh, don't worry, we can take the bruises away. Like, is that okay?
Look, I think the bruises are a story of where you're at in your life. So I think no, like you are I'm mum of 3 here as well. I've got bruises and scrapes and pen and probably Marmite on my shirt. But that's the stage of life that I'm in. And I think it's really important that as people in a public light, that everybody can relate to you. So if you've got bruises from carrying your baby capsule, own it. I think It's really important to own it. Yeah.
Registered psychologist Sarah Chatwin and personal stylist Caitlin Taylor talking to us about the Bodyright movement this week. Thank you both very much.